All right, so today we're going to talk about different investments that have been catching my eye for the last couple of months. The Jordan 3. Jordan 3 white cement. A lot of you guys have been asking me, will these Jordan 3 white cements go up in price? Because if we look at the last white cement 3 that released, those skyrocketed in price. So the question is, will these skyrocket in price? If we look at the shoe itself on StockX, we can see men's has absolutely plummeted. Men's is pretty much a $250, $240, $260 shoe. And then we look at the consignment prices that I'm selling them at, and I'm not getting lower than $300 per pair. That just kind of goes to show that there is significant demand. People want this shoe. The only thing is StockX, as we all know, always is, the lowest bottom in price. So do I think the shoe is going to go up from here? If we look at size 8 to size 10.5, those are all kind of priced similarly. I personally think that this shoe will easily pass 300, because if I'm already getting $300 returns on local consignment shops or even other consignment shops, that just kind of goes to show that if people are paying above 300 because the store is still taking a fee, then I think that those sizes will surpass 300 without a doubt. Even if they still drop below 250 what they're currently at, I think long term they're easily going to pass 300. And if we look at the black cement 3s as well, those didn't perform that well at first back in 2018, and we look at them now, they're a $500 plus shoe. So size 8, I'd say to size 10, 10.5, easily gonna pass 300. And then we look at the bigger sizes. Those are typically the sizes that sell for a lot more, and I've also been selling those shoes for a lot more than normal, and those currently go for about $280. I think that they might go a little bit lower to $260, but to be honest with you, I do see that shoe being a $400 plus shoe. I don't know how soon that shoe is going to be 400 plus, but just looking at the white cement 3, it's a shoe that will go up in price. Whether it's in 6 months or a year or 2 years, it eventually will go up in price. Do I think it's something you should put your money into right now? Probably not. I think that if you can get pairs for about $250 in any size, I think you should consign them at the right consignment shops, which again are pretty hard to find, but if you get into the right ones, get into those consignment shops and list them at like $350, $375. After the fee, you'll be clearing $300, and they move pretty quick, so you can easily make right now a quick $50 profit on each shoe. And then if we go to the grade school white cement 3s, those have absolutely plummeted. Those are about a $150 shoe. The number of sales since they released, it's 4,200, and that's not horrible, but the shoe is $140. I don't think it can go much lower, simply because the fact is retail for the shoe is $150. So how much lower can it really get? I think if you see them at outlets, they're probably going to be around 100, 120. But in terms of holding these, I think that again, this shoe is going to go over 200. It's kind of like a no-brainer with that. But the thing is that you're probably going to have to wait some time. I'm going to throw up a few consignment sales here for the shoe. Again, this shoe does move for a lot higher than it does on StockX. So in terms of investments, you could literally buy the shoe off of StockX with a reselling permit. You wouldn't pay taxes if you got a reselling permit and put it on StockX. So you'd pretty much be getting the shoe for about $170 after all fees, and you can easily sell it again on consignment for a bit more. But if you want to hold this shoe, I would say definitely go for the size 5.5 to size 7, and I think long term we'd easily be looking at about $250. For the next shoe, a shoe that actually recently just dropped, the Thunder 4s. As we know, Jordan 4s have been performing really well for the last couple of years. Funny enough, this Thunder 4 was a shoe that I was doing a lot of quick flips with a long time ago when I was doing consignment with Stadium and Flight. Now it's not a shoe that's going to move for back what I used to move it for, which was around 500. Should you invest into this shoe? I'm looking at all sizes. I personally think it's a great shoe. The Red Thunder did great. This is a yellow Thunder, so it's a bit different. It has a yellow component, in the shoe itself. So we've seen that yellow shoes are kind of like stagnant for the most part. I do think this shoe has potential to go up to 350. I think that's not a bad return on investment, but again, it's a $300 shoe, about $280, $300. For it to go up to $50, it's not that big of a profit. So with this, I would personally stay away from the Thunder 4s in men's. But then we look at the grade school, and grade school is hitting about 170. And we all know when grade school is low for Jordan 4s, typically it's a buy. So looking at grade school Thunder 4s, if you want to wait for them to bottom out at about 150, which is literally retail, feel free to do that. That's probably what I'm going to do, and then buy some pairs. But I think, a 150 to 180 buy-in is not bad at all. I don't think grade school Jordan 4 Thunders are going to go lower than retail. And if they do, I'd be really surprised, because if we look at a lot uglier Jordan 4 colorways, such as the Craft Jordan 4s or the infrared GS Jordan 4, I mean, that shoe is sitting above 200. It's about 230 in the size 6.5 and size 7. I mean, for a shoe that's, I think, uglier than Thunder 4, which was at 1.150 and went all the way up to about 230, I think the same thing is probably going to happen to the Thunder 4. So you pretty much would make about $70 or so on that investment if you bought. I'm gonna say be conservative with this one and buy size 6 to size 7. You can get the 5.5s, but I'd say like 6.5 to size 7 is probably going to be best bet. But again, 5.5 to size 7 is always a safe bet. So for those Thunder 4s, again, probably buy grade school only. I wouldn't go for anything else aside from grade school. The Jordan 4 Pine Green SB, these are an absolute movers on every consignment shop that I consign at. If we're looking at sizes right now, I mean, smaller sizes go for about 300. Bigger sizes have absolutely skyrocketed up to 500. In store, I've sold a few of these over $750. Again, the consignment fee is a bit higher, but I'm still clearing a lot more than what I would on StockX. But I would say, don't be afraid to invest into the smaller sizes like size 8 to size 10.5. Those you can probably scoop up for about 300, maybe a bit more, but I do think that these will do very, very well in the long term if Jordan Brand doesn't decide to obviously restock them like they restock everything else. But I think that those will probably eventually hit 500 as well, just basing it off the consignment sales that, you know, I personally have experienced with this Jordan 4. Moving forward, these are just a few predictions I'm going to throw out too, because I haven't done these in a while. The Travis Scott Olive in women's, do I think those are ever going to go up? These are about a $740, $50 shoe. I think absolutely not. I don't think these are going to go any higher than what they are right now. They're probably going to go down in price. So if you have pairs, you should probably sell them. Reason being is because no one right now in this economy is going to be spending over $1,000 for Travis Scott's. Maybe back in 2020 when stimulus checks were coming in, but not right now. It's just not the time that people are going to be spending money on a shoe like this. And regardless, even though there is sales volume, we're seeing 5,000 pairs have sold since they released. That is good, but I still don't see this shoe hitting over $1,000 whatsoever. So that's pretty much that for today's investments. I've also been working on a app and a software for a long time. Essentially what I've been doing is I've been collabing with sneaker stores all across the US that do consignment. My team and I have basically built out the same software, the same system that Flight Club or Stadium Goods would have. And we all know that stores like that, I mean, do well above 20, 30, $50 million a year in sales. For me, it was like, I consign at these local places, but they don't have a system to let consigners cash out from, to let consigners view all their inventory, to have a portal. There was none of that. So essentially me and my team, like I said, built that exact system, something that would cost anyone else hundreds of thousands, if not millions. I've seen other stores, do this, build something like this for millions. I've partnered up with quite a lot right now. It's pretty difficult to work with us just because, we need to really trust the store in order to give this system to, for them to intake consignment. Every single store that we've basically got on has gotten flooded with consigners because everyone knows, I talk about consignment. Some people find out which stores are using my system. And also they feel safer using a store that's using our system because ACH cash outs are integrated right into it. Just like GOAT, just like StockX, so once you sell your pairs, you can get your money. So we are pretty picky with the people that we work with. With that being said, as time progresses, hopefully I'll be able to get every single store that we trust on here, and then as well as resellers flooding their stores with consignment pairs so that they constantly have an influx of pairs. I mean, it's crazy. We literally onboarded a store just a month and a half ago, and once we onboarded them, every single store that they had got flooded with pairs. Like every single store was filled to the brim with new consigners pairs. So that's also why we're pretty careful with who we let in onto our system. But again, we are open to working with new stores. If you know any reputable stores that think could benefit from this, definitely have them shoot us an email in the link in the bio below. Thank you for watching today's video. I'm sorry for the long wait. Again, I've really been trying to make a huge difference in reselling, and I feel like videos were probably not my top priority. I think that something long lasting, way further than videos would probably help the community a lot more. But now, now that I'm more freed up, I've hired a lot of people. Now it's time to go hard on videos and help you guys in that aspect. So thank you for watching. If you guys like this video and you guys, want me to be more consistent, I guess, in this new setup, give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Peace.